Okay, now we should be on. So we should be going live on Facebook as well. And now I will come back with you all.
That means we can't give away any dark secrets, right? Unless we want everybody who watches Facebook to know.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so people on Facebook will see us as we are here. And so we have several candles tonight, and I actually am leaving this candle with Ari since he didn't have a Havdalah candle before. So now he'll have this one at his place, and we'll give it just a few more moments. So it's nicer out and it's cooler, but good to be outside, good walking weather and all.
Good sleeping weather.
Okay, that too.
Yes. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I slept all afternoon. I was trying to read a book every time, and it's a very good book. It's Stone Kids by Faye Kellerman. It's a murder mystery, and it's a lot of.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
Stone Kiss.
Oh, is it a fairly new book? I haven't read any of hers in years. Like
Suzanne, you're muted.
It's from the 80s.
Oh, 80? Okay.
Suzanne, you're still muted, so you were talking, but we couldn't hear you. Okay.
Unmuted. But then I was checking Facebook Live. I must have.
Okay.
We're on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I read that one. It's one of her older books.
Yes, and it's very good. But I keep falling asleep, and I want to find out what's happening. It's a murder mystery.
Yeah, most for books are.
Yeah, you know who's killed, but you don't know how or what. And there's a 15-year-old girl missing. And where is she?
So there's lots of reasons to keep going, right?
Yes. Well, they call this area north of New York City Quinton, but you know it's Monroe. Muncie.
Well, you know where it is. I wouldn't know where it is, but that's okay.
It's a very orthodox. The men wear black suits and payas and all that. So it's interesting. Very interesting book. I'd like to finish it.
Ari is here with me, so I know it's coming back with me, and it's a very low chair, as you can see. The only way I can be taller than my son.
I'm sitting on the ground, but I am almost sitting on the ground.
So I wanted to share a story with you, and it's a story that originally came from a book called The Complete Treasury, Stories for Public Speakers, but Rabbi Leora Kay has retold it, and it has a connection to one of my favorite texts in our prayer book, one that Genevieve has also always said is her favorite. And that text is, pray as if everything depends on God, act as if everything depends on you. So it resonates with me. And one of these times I'll probably add it to our PowerPoint service too, but I often read it when we're in the prayer book. So I want to tell you a story called The Bird Trap. So a happy little girl sits with her mother, and she's sitting with her mother, and she has this huge smile on her face. And her mother has known that for quite a while, she and her brother have been having a lot of angst and a lot of disagreements, many challenges over a trap that her brother had made. He had built a trap, a bird trap. And they've been so upset, she can't figure out why her daughter is now smiling. So every day, her brother was catching birds and coming back and telling her how many birds he had caught in this bird trap. And she was very upset about his catching these birds, about hurting them. And as she was more upset, he mocked her a lot, the way that sometimes siblings do. And he would tell her each day how many he captured, a different count each day to make her more upset. She was so mad at her brother that she started to pray that the trap would break. And she prayed and she prayed and she prayed every day. And while her mother knew that her daughter was a believer in prayer for sure, she still was thinking maybe something else is going on here. So she asked her daughter why she was smiling so much. Her daughter looked at her and said, well, I know that that trap won't work anymore. Her mother wasn't sure what to do with that. She certainly she didn't want to dissuade her daughter about how prayer can make things happen. But at the same time, she said, well, what do you mean you know the trap won't work anymore? Well, I know that my prayers will definitely come true, she told her mother. And again, her mother wasn't sure what to say, and she ended up replying the only way she knew how, with another question. Well, how do you know with such certainty that that trap won't work anymore? And how do you know with such certainty that your prayers came true? So the little girl looked at her mother and said, oh, how do I know? Because just this morning, I went outside and I broke the trap apart. So sometimes we can pray for things, but sometimes it takes our actions too to change things. And this little girl was definitely very concerned about birds and about living creatures, and figured, how am I going to make a change? Prayed and prayed and prayed, and then decided, as our text from our prayer book says, pray as if everything depended on God, and act as if everything depends on you. So that's my story for this evening. A little one to think about. I think it's a good one to consider. I have another bird story, but it goes in a different direction, so I'll use it a different way.
Going along with that story,
Yeah.
there was an opinion piece I read in the Washington Post today that in these times we have to look for things that make you feel better. And the guy works for a technology company, I don't know what, and they get a text that a man was running late to the virtual meeting. Why? There was a bird caught in a tree or on a post, and there were wires around him, and they were trying to figure out what to do. And it was how everyone finally got together in the neighborhood, and they were able to get the bird down. It was a kingfisher. They got it to a wildlife sanctuary. The bird ended up being too injured to survive. But everyone in the neighborhood and everyone at this company were all, what's with the bird? And everyone gathered. So it tied right in with, let's save the bird.
Well, when we take walks, when you're taking walks there, and when I take walks, I'm hearing more birds than I heard before.
Yes.
And sounds too. So we may be becoming more aware, more sensitized to them living with us, because I think, oh, it's so quiet on this walk. Where I said, it's not quiet at all. They're making noises here and there and everywhere, but we are able to hear those sounds and appreciate that part of the world around us. And so I'd probably be with that little girl who didn't want to see anybody trapping the birds, but to allow them to be able to be free and out. And I know a number of people, I think, Sylvia, you said you need to get more bird seed for your feeder.
Yes, I do.
Other people as well. So we do what we can to help and take care of our flying friends, and we move from there. So we are
very soothing to watch the birds. It's like a tranquilizer to see them around the feeder, all the different colors. There's a red one, there's a yellow one, there's all kinds of shades of black and white and gray. They're very pretty to watch. Very soothing.
We watch the birds. Ari's dog watches squirrels. My dog watches chipmunks. You know, we all have the things around us that catch our interest.
My
and
dog watches trees.
yeah, your dog
Might
watches
have
trees. She
some.
tries to jump up the side of trees and gets higher up than I've ever seen a dog get before. But everybody's got to have a hobby, right?
Well, congratulations, Ari, on your dog.
Thank you.
So Penny is here with us too. We aren't sure what she's going to think of the Havdalah flame tonight because she's not seen something like this. And I'm going to move things so that I protect the table as well. And I'm going to let Ari help me with the candle. So we'll light the candle first and be ready then to make our, you hold the candle and then I'll do this. Okay.
Trying to get it in the picture and not burn your.
Right. Okay. So I am going to mute you and have you sing with me, but we will unmute later for Shavuot Tov. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Peri hagafen Orei Peri hagafen. One moment.
Nothing washes down tea like wine.
Well, we don't sip the wine quite yet.
A palate cleanser, some may say.
But nothing helps me more to be able to continue to support my voice in prayer and in song than a little bit of hot tea. So we continue with the blessing for the spices. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim. I'm going to hold the candle up higher for us. Yeah, la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Do the same. Borei me'orei ha'esh. Borei me'orei ha'esh. And as we get ready for the final blessing of Havdalah ben Kodesh L'chol, we thank God for making the distinctions between light and darkness, between the 6 days of the week and the 7th day of Shabbat, 6 days of creation and the 7th day as well. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Take a little sip of our wine or juice. And then we put the candle out. What did I do? It was a quiet sizzle tonight. We're going to sing Eliyahu Hanavi first. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hakiladi, Bimera B'Yameinu, Yavo Aleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hakiladi. I invite you to unmute as we sing together Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov, 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 a good week, a week of peace,
For gladness reign and joy increase.
a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. As you wish, I wish you a Shavua Tov and a good week. I also want to remind you tomorrow morning of the Joint Adult Education Program at 10:30 with short stories being read by Ben Casper, Steve Gilbert, and Andy Horowitz. And then tomorrow evening at 7:30, we have our gathering of Caring for Ourselves, Caring for Others through the Jewish Federation, and the clergy from all the different synagogues and Chabad will all be participating in that program. And so I look forward to seeing you as well. And then we have some other programs going on during the week. Since you're all here, you all have your happenings, so you can follow all the rest of them. And I wish you a good evening.
Did
Good
you
evening.
send out a notice
Shavua
on
Tov.
the computer for
I'm
these
sorry?
meetings?